With Ayo Oyelola of the International Pathway Program, we're going to dig deep into your path to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's go way back, though.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up, and what was your childhood like?
So I grew up in East London, born and raised there. I grew up playing soccer primarily, but I also did rugby, ran track. So yeah, it's quite a variety of sports in my youth.
From East London, who was your football club then?
So my most local football club was West Ham United, but I was a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might not have made many friends in East London as a Chelsea fan, right? That's the other side.
No, not really.
That's okay.
Yeah.
When did you switch? When did you realize, hey, I can switch and change and try American football? When did that happen for you?
From a young age, everyone was telling me I should try American football. But it's just, I lived in London. I played soccer. That's what everyone did. So I never really put much thought into it. In the UK, you have to decide pretty early whether you want to pursue school or play professional sports. So at 17, I had to decide whether I wanted to play pro soccer or go to school, and I decided to go to school. So it was like a year of my life I wasn't playing sports. So I just thought, what the heck, let me try it. Everyone's been telling me to, and yeah, I fell in love with it around 18.
Right, and then you get started. Are there clubs there, like in London and the UK, to get you started in American football? I mean, how did you first see it? Did you see it on TV? Like, what was your first experience with the game?
I first saw Saquon Barkley's highlights on YouTube when I was supposed to be studying. I was in a lecture. I just got bored. So I saw it there. And there's clubs in the UK, but I started at my university. So that was my first introduction to football.
Nottingham University, you were studying law?
Yeah.
So you were taken away from law classes to watch highlights, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. My parents probably not going to be happy about that, but yeah.
It worked
That's
out.
what happened, yeah.
It worked out for sure.
Yeah.
So it's a huge change in career path. If you're going to school and then you're putting away soccer, right? And You're thinking about football.
Yeah.
How hard of a choice was that after growing up in that environment for so long?
How hard of a choice was it to stop law school or soccer?
Soccer and then law school and then all of a sudden American football of all things?
Yeah, so stopping soccer was really, really hard. In the back of my mind, I always knew I was going to be a professional athlete. I just didn't know in what sport. So I was just going to school just to get out of the way. I always wanted to be a professional athlete. But yeah, the first decision was hard. The second decision from law to football was the easiest decision I ever made. That wasn't hard at all. Yeah.
Let's get into the actual X's and O's a little bit on football here. Did you always play on the defensive side, or when you start at Nottingham, where do you begin playing?
So I started as a running back. That's the position I wanted to play, but they
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley, exactly, yeah. But they felt like they needed me more in defense, so I just became. I was all over the field. I played defensive end. I played outside linebacker, inside linebacker, safety, corner. I played everywhere. So I was just a defensive player.
I'm going to ask you this question. Your path is not that long yet. Hopefully it will be in the NFL. But were there any coaches or particular clubs that maybe had a strong role in where you are today? We know about Nottingham. You had a moment in the CFL as well.
Yeah.
Who stands out?
So the first coach is a coach called Neil Edwards. He played in NFL Europe. And he was a coach at the London Olympians. He took a lot of time off work to help me. He passed away a couple of months ago, so that really hit me, and I'm definitely doing a lot of what I'm doing for him. He gives me some motivation.
It's pretty cool. Those mentors and people that help you along, especially people that go out of the way like that to do that. That's a big deal for sure. What's the biggest difference so far now you have arrived in the NFL through this program? When you first walk out on a practice field here, the veterans are in, there's rookies coming in, all of a sudden things are moving fast. What's the biggest thing that stands out?
I think the biggest thing that stands out to me is the attention to detail everyone takes, especially in the classroom. Physically, I felt like the CFL got me ready for what it's like to have a professional practice, and I'm really grateful for that year. But just the attention to detail is the biggest thing in the NFL from my week here. Yeah.
It's not that long so far.
Yeah, I'm going to learn some more stuff.
Hopefully it's a long time.
Yeah.
Ayo Oyelola is with us. So how did you get involved in the International Pathway Program? How did you find out about it, and how did you get involved?
So one of the employees in the international office saw my highlights, and he passed them on to the head of international development at the NFL. And he called me during COVID years. I think it was like April 2020. And he said, you're from London, you know, Adam Durd, who's the defensive line coaches for the Cowboys, and Will Bryce, the guy who called me, they said, we can work you out when you're finished with exams. I had my finals around this time. So I was just staying fit, getting ready for that. They worked me out a couple of times in London, killed me, but it went well. And then I had like a combine in September, and then around December they informed me I was going to be on the program in 2021.
When the phone rings, you got to be ready to go work out.
Ready to go, yeah. Ready to go.
Yeah, on a moment's notice. Yeah. So how did you find out it was Jacksonville, and what were your immediate thoughts and reactions?
I got a call on, I think, the 1st of May saying I was going to be allocated. They didn't tell us which club yet. I was going to come the next day. Then I got on the Zoom call, still didn't know which club, and I saw Coach Peterson, and I knew it was Jacksonville. And my initial reaction, I was really happy because I know they've got a strong UK following. So, you know, I thought that's the perfect spot for me in the AFC South.
Strong UK following, long run at Wembley, back at Wembley this year. How excited would you be to still be part of the Jaguars organization playing at Wembley? Yeah,
that's definitely a big motivation for me, you know, going out to practice.
All right, so do you have any targets, goals for your time here in Jacksonville? Let's just start with the month ahead. What do you want to get accomplished in the off-season program, Gary?
I just want to show the coaches they can trust me. You know, I might be from the UK, but I can pick things up quickly, and physically I can compete too. So it's just earning the trust of the coaches.
And then final thought here, what advice would you give young Brits who are interested in American football? Because it feels like that is growing over the years.
For sure. I think the advice I would have given myself is, you know, just work, even when no one can see it. You know, it's growing in the UK, but it's still not big. So you're going to be doing a lot of stuff by yourself. Just keep on going and trust the process.
Thanks for the time, Ayo.
Appreciate
Congrats.
it. Yep. Thank you.